I want the bets from betting weekly, because we win. That is our motto. Sometimes we win, sometimes we don't win. Don't give us the bird, don't give us your stink eye. We try our best, and we're successful. Come watch our show. Bet Rivers sponsors. It's time to start. Enjoy the show.
Welcome along to Betting Weekly Live. You're with myself, Dan Roebuck, and alongside me, as you can see, it is Super Simon Holden. A Monday soccer slate to take a look forward to. We've got games in Spain, in England, and Argentina to peruse over the course of the next 40-45 minutes or so. We'll reflect on the latest market moves when it comes to the English Premier League as well for the futures market. Simon, how are you?
Dangerous. I am very, very well. It's fantastic to be here, see everybody. Hello, everybody out there. All our usual guys saying hi. And also the Man City day yesterday. I'll come to it in a little bit, a little theory of mine, but wasn't it fantastic, Dan? This league has been blown wide open over the weekend.
I wouldn't say that to a certain extent. I mean, look, City are obviously Arsenal's main challenges, and we will get to it shortly. But look,
oh yeah, sorry, I've jumped the gun. Not for the
you jumped the gun there. Hello to Byron, to Duncan, to Player Cam, to Mike, and to Ming. He says, "Good day to you both. Looking forward to where the double is today." Well, Simon has got 100% record, Simon, haven't you, for the daily double? It's the only one of our cappers.
Well, I think it was me and Lewis. I'm not one of these spotlight people who bigs themselves up, Dan, but I feel it is me. I am unbeaten. And we're going to go 2 from 2 today. You heard it here first.
The Black Cats set up the Black Cats. Yeah, 1 or 2 played on, I think it was over 0.5 goals or 1.5 goals against Arsenal. So well done to them. We had a few comments in the YouTube chat on the Premier League show. And Snook says, my favourite Brits, talking about us too. Which is always nice.
You need to travel more.
You probably do. Notable weekend soccer winners and losers. Just to run through some of these, because I'm always fascinated by the big bets. And we like to just wait until people come into the chat. People are logging on, and so we warm people up with a few sort of big bets. This was a mad one: $44,000. How about this? $44,000, Simon, on Tottenham double chance at -182, which was a winner. But where are your emotions here? It's 0-1 with about 5 minutes to go, and then Spurs get a goal for 1-1. You think, I've got them. I've bet -$2 almost. That's such a relief. Then they go and score again and thinking, why didn't I put a 44K on the money line? And then there's a 90 plus 7 minute equaliser. De Ligt scores. And you're thinking, crikey, my emotions are all over the place. 44K. That was an incredible game, wasn't it, at Tottenham Hotspur?
Well, it was. And even though that bet won, whoever placed that is currently outside in the shed, still quietly sobbing with a blanket around him. It's one of those, isn't it? Incredible.
Dortmund live over 0.5 first half goals on an $18,000 play against Hamburg, which was a loser. Sunderland Arsenal over 2.5 goals, plus 116 was a winner, $13,000. Well done to that bet. Real Madrid minus 1.25 on the Asian handicap against Rayo, which is a loser, of course, because Rayo, they're a good side. You look at some of the stats there, they very much deserve that point. We had $9,500 on Lamine Yamal over 1.5 shot on target, which was a winner. Barcelona against Celta Vigo, and Union Berlin Bayern Munich over 2.5 goals at -278 was a winner. There was a lot playing just the buying goals, and they only scored 2. They drew 2-2. It's the first time that they didn't win a game this season, which is incredible, really. What else we got in the chat here? Leslie Max says Cheltenham double chance. Interesting. Don't mind that one, but Simon might have a different spin on it. Stephen says, I believe Man City will be top before Christmas. Big shout.
I agree, Stephen. I agree.
Other notable long odds winners, $30 on Nick Dunlap, first round leader, Worldwide Technology Championship at 75-1 which was a win. It's pretty popular, isn't it, around one golf leader, Simon, these days?
Yeah.
You get a lot of sort of traction on that. Players that start well but don't necessarily get over the line, and they can falter over the weekend.
It's a market that's often underlooked. And of course, now with the European Tour, the DP, as it's known now, ending in the desert, you've got the early morning, you often get the wind getting up. It can be something where you can maybe rule out half the field. It can be something. Yeah, I can see why it's popular. That's a hell of a shout. I must say, one of my dear friends, a very good golf bettor, he had the bet from hell. He did. He went for it with the cross tour double, the old Atlantic Keith Elliott double.
Yeah.
And he bet Tommy Fleetwood.
Oh,
this
man.
is a win double.
Come on.
Now, he lost in the playoff.
Yeah.
How he managed to lose to Aaron Wright. No offense to Aaron Wright, but Fleetwood should have won. And he doubled it with Ben Griffin.
Oh.
Who birdied his way to victory at 16-1. Now, the true horror of the bet was, because Fleetwood lost, and he had to watch.
Yeah. You want him to lose. You want him to lose, don't you? You want him to lose.
Absolutely begging him to lose. So
that's the problem. I mean, if you have it the other way around, at least you've got loads of excitement. You can lay off. You can do what you want. But that way around can be an absolute killer. There was also an interesting play here. This was a $25 play on Anthony Markinich, live anytime goal scorer in the Sounders Minnesota game. Now, Markinich is a regular goal scorer for Minnesota. He's got 9 this season. He's a 50-1 show, so it must have been fairly late on in that game. That was a nice $1,200 winner. And also Spurs against Man United, $100 on a full-time draw, 28-1. So that late to leveler, that was very nice for a $2,800 cash. So well done to that particular customer. A says, these dog days of the international break. We don't see it that way on betting.
No, we do not, sir.
You don't see that way. Yeah. There's always opportunities. Exactly. Just before we get into, we've got previews of the game in Spain, Segunda game, the League 2 game in England, and we're also going to look at some Argentine football as well for you. Ahead of that, let's just remind ourselves where we are when it comes to the EPL futures, because there have been movements here. Look, Arsenal out to -167, City +225. We just heard Stephen Hall suggesting that the City will be top before Christmas. Arsenal's next couple of Premier League games are tough because they take on Tottenham at home, North London derby, and then Chelsea away the week after. And they've got Bayern Munich in the Champions League in the middle of all that as well. And Arsenal's good run of games have come to a little bit of an end, but they've taken so many points. I mean, Simon, how do you see the futures at the moment? Are we lumping on City at +225? I still think Arsenal are a really good bet at -167. Any Gunner supporters, 4 points clear at the top going into the final international break of the calendar year, they would have taken that at the start of the season. I think -167. I know it's minus money, but, if you give me $100, Simon, I'd bet them. Who would you bet?
And that has happened in our relationship.
Has it? I'm still waiting for it. Still waiting for it. You like City. You like City, don't you?
Well, I've been banging the City drum. And last time we worked together, I gave them at 4-1.
Yeah.
I actually think, for the very reason you just mentioned, Dangerous, I think Arsenal have got a very sticky few weeks.
Yeah.
And again, like Stephen Hall said, it could flip. I don't think you'll ever see City as big as they are now for the rest of the year. We talk about pivotal weekends. Now, of course, you can get too caught up in this. It's a league. Everybody plays each other twice. You can get too focused on one thing. But I think it was a pivotal week because Liverpool, I think, realistically will struggle to come back from that. They weren't just beaten. They were knocked out of the way. And secondly, Arsenal teams now are not unbeatable. And by the way, my boys at Everton, their little draw at Sunderland looks a little bit better form now, Dan. After the,
but it does. It does. To be fair, it does. Look. Liverpool are out to 10-1 to win the league, biggest price they've been this season. Chelsea are 20-1, as you can see. Top four -121. Chelsea. Still don't know about Chelsea. Still don't know how to work them out. Liverpool -360. Are they the most vulnerable, do you think, when it comes to dropping out of the top four? I can't see United at +200, but Villa have found a bit of form, haven't they, at the moment? Is there anyone that you think? Yeah, anyone you think might be able to nick a top four spot, or is it done and dusted, Simon?
No, I mean, I wouldn't surprise me. Villa went on one of those 6, 7, 8 game win, and the way the league's set up now, You know, you've got teams winning and jumping up 5-6 places over the weekend. So I wouldn't rule it. I think that plus 900. But I tell you what, in the outright market, are Chelsea really? Do we seriously believe Chelsea have twice the chance of Liverpool to win this league? I think I'd much rather be on them at that price than Liverpool at their price. I really would. I think Chelsea are getting better. I think this Liverpool team has got serious questions. And for it looked to me towards the end, there was just one or two people not putting it all in. And that suggests that there is trouble behind the scenes there. I think this is going to be a classic 2-horse race from now to the end of the year. It's a very good Arsenal team. But Man City have the two magic men that Arsenal don't have. They've got the big man up front, and they've got... Now, I'm not one for going on about the same people all the time. I find it tiresome. But I will say, I have been saying, I said to you the other week, the old Star Wars guy, Jeremy Count Doku. Yeah, that's one. Count Doku is the most exciting offensive player in the Premier League. Now people are waking up to it. This is not a one-man team anymore. Those two are the magic men, and they will be the difference. And Nigel said to me, how can you factor in that Haaland might get injured? Now, if you bet Arsenal, you've got to factor in that he won't get injured at that price. So it's a decision. But Count Doku, alongside him, they are the two supermen who will win this holiday. That's, well, 2.5.
No. Blackcat says opportunities internationals if you can find the right angles. That is true, and there'll be a lot of international coverage from sort of, I think, Thursday onwards. Wednesday there's a first game. Thursday onwards we're going to tackle World Cup qualifiers. There's some really good games coming up. Henry's come on. He says these guys are British. This is hilarious. Fancy a cup of tea, mates. Great show. I'm enjoying. Where did you think we were going to be from, Henry? That's the question.
Well, does he have a wagon wheel with that cup of tea? That's the secret.
Byron says Arsenal will kill Spurs and Chelsea. Who's kidding who here? Completely agree. Byron. A says City seems like a bargain. Byron says you've had Havertz, Odegaard, Madueke, Gyökeres all out this weekend. I'll be surprised if they do. Look, I think Sunderland at home scored in every game, unbeaten in the Premier League at home. They're decent, aren't they? Grazer says, Simon, about 6 weeks ago you were saying that Villa were doomed. Myself and Simon both tipped Forest to go down. They're in the bottom.
Yeah, go further back. Go further back. I bet to win the league. So that I'll accept that, Grazer, but I will throw you an August video where I said they were going to have a great season. And of course, our Forest bet to be relegated, mocked by some in the team dangerous.
Mocked by a lot. Mocked by a lot.
Mocked by everybody, to be fair.
Yeah, pretty much. I think they'll probably stay up, but we were talking about a value play. We are going to get to some picks for today's game in just a second, I promise you. But I just wanted to flag up something that Nigel was talking about. And that was our good friend Jeremy Doku. Now, on the Premier League show, I put it to Nigel and Jack, talking about if you think Arsenal are going to win the league here, -167, an alternative is Player of the Year. And Bet Rivers have got Player of the Year prices. Gabriel is +500, Saka +800, Declan Rice +1,000. But the two City players, Haaland +160, the favourite. Doku, 25 to 1, +2,500 to be.
Can you do the rest of the show on your own? I'm off to the shop.
PFA Player of the Year, and you tend to think it's got to be a player whose team wins the league. You know, if Haaland scores all the goals, it's probably going to be him. But if Doku plays as well as he did yesterday, you know, you can count your money at the. See what I did there, Simon? Count. Oh, forget it. I'll leave the jokes.
Aforementioned.
I'll leave the jokes to you. So have a look at you've always got to look for different angles in. Have a look at the different angles.
And on a serious note, if you play those bets and you're on Arsenal big, they're just fun insurance bets, but they'll pay nicely.
They will do. Look, I still think Arsenal win the league and easy. Blackhead says Leeds are in trouble for me. Yeah, I agree with that. I think Leeds are around about +150 to go down.
I said that to Meat Man on Saturday. They have to get rid of their manager during this international break. If they don't, Leeds will be relegated, I told him. Yeah, I honestly think that. He needs to get shut. It
does. It could be a case of Farker off, but we will find out over the next few weeks.
Actually, that's what Meat Man replied to my text.
Did he really? Ming says Sunderland only conceded 2 corners. That's the way to get them. Yeah, that is very true. They were very good in situations like that. And Ray's with us as well. Good afternoon, Dan. And Simon, let's get some picks, shall we? Because we have got the daily double coming your way from Simon. And we've got some thoughts on the Argentina action as well. First up for you then, let's take a look at the early game, which is in Spain. Segunda action, La Liga 2. And I should point out that this game is streamed live on the BetRivers app and the BetRivers website, as is the Cheltenham Notts County game, which is the League 2 fixture in England. There's also some Brazilian second-tier matches. There's fixtures in Denmark. There's also the Grand Slam of darts and some tennis, all streamed live. Let's get to this game then here. Now, Burgos are plus 145, Castellon plus 185. It's almost each of two. The tie is plus 200. The lean for me, I should point out before we get into this, is under 2.25 goals at minus 125. That's just a lean for me. I might bet it. I'll see how it go when I get the team news out. And one of the reasons that I'm not 100% certain I'll go into, Burgos, for me, Simon, one of the biggest overachievers in Segunda this season. Castellon, one of the biggest underachievers in La Liga. It's 5th versus 15th, but on expected points, it's 11th versus 10th. That suggests that Castellon should be a little bit better and Burgos should be a little bit further down the league. However, I did look at Castellon quarter ball Asian line, but team news has put me off a little bit because as it stands, they are without Marco Liverpool, who scored the winner against Malaga Castellon last time out in the 90th minute. He was sent off after he scored. And also Brian Sipanga, who's their main goal getter this season. He's with the DR Congo squad for a World Cup qualifier. He was plus 400 for an anytime goal scorer bet. He's still listed, but I checked on the DR Congo website. He is listed as a squad member for their World Cup qualifier. So it's put me off a little bit. Do I want to back Burgos therefore at plus 145? Maybe, but I know that you're quite sweet on the home team here, Simon.
Well, I am. And you just made a good point, Dangerous. I sounded a bit surprised when I said that. I don't know why. But you made a good point. Now, I watched the European show, the extra time, with the maestro, James Easton, Meat Man and yourself. And you made a point about a team you had avoided. Now, the name escapes me, but it was, you were saying they were overachieving and you were frightened of backing them. You know what I'm on about, don't you?
Yeah.
Now, are Burgos a little bit like this? Are we at the time in the season where we have to start and accept some teams are just better than we thought?
100%.
Get with them.
100%.
That's today's challenge on this bet. Or like you, do we cling to, oh no, they're better than we think?
Yeah.
They're expected, like you say. If you think it like this is a much narrower gap. And that pushes you to think the away team are the play. But I think this lot just keep getting it done grubbily. Not got the old big XG, but get it done. Lots of 1-0s. I think this is going to be a similar thing, 1 or 2-0, the unders and a home win, because this lot are a kind of get it done outfit.
It seems to be the case. It's difficult to oppose a team who have won their last 4 in all competitions, including a Copa del Rey fixture against lower league opposition. And incidentally, Castellon got knocked out the Copa del Rey to lower league opposition as well. So although, and I was explaining this exactly the point you're making on the European show, you can look at the underlying numbers and they can push you towards bets that in reality ain't gonna cash. And Burgos, I think, at plus 145 are probably a touch of value for me. So that's your play. And is it part of your daily double?
Yes. It reminds me of the old saying in gambling where you go up blind alleys, which is, of course, system working, but can you send more money?
yeah, very true. So first leg of the daily
form the bedrock of this double.
Yeah, Simon's on daily double duty today. Money line, Burgos plus 145 at the minute. Just to give you a little bit more colour on my lean of under 2.25 goals. Mention the fact that Sipanga and Due are both missing for Castellon. Burgos are without Florian Miguel, who's also suspended. He started every single game this season, but he's a chance creator. He's created 10 chances this season for Burgos. He's out. He's got 1 goal, 2 assists. He's just a very good fullback, and he's going to be out. So there's a lot of creativity missing from both teams. The last 4 away Castellon games have been under 1.5. And the last 2 home Burgos games have been under 1.5. I don't want to steal Steve's whist thunder because he had a massive hot dog under 1.5 on the Eintracht Frankfurt game at the weekend that was plus 475. This is under 2.25 at minus 125. That is my lean for this one.
I'd say hats off to the meat man. Anybody who watched Eintracht Frankfurt attempt to defend against Liverpool, who wanted to be with them in an unders market, absolutely sensational tip in that.
Tristan says, I've landed under corners for Burgos, under 4.5, 3.5, and 2.5. Henry says, Dan, Simon, do you think any of Norway, Croatia, Italy, or Germany are at risk this week, or will they all win easily? Well, Henry, you'll have to tune in to the show a little bit later on this week, because we tend just to cover the games on the day. If you're new to the show, Henry, and we welcome your support, tune in a little bit later, and we'll find out.
Although there is Count Doku Corner each weekly night, even if there's not Man City or whoever he plays for internationally. So there are themes that run, but mainly it's about the day.
Burgos Castellon, incidentally, 63% of the money, 58% of the tickets on overs, and the under 1.5 goals market has hit in each of Castellon's last 3 Segunda Division away matches. That is a stat that I'm hanging on to
last 3 hit as well.
Yeah, look, it's unders for me, and it's moneyline Burgos for Simon. Let's move on to the League Two game in England, Cheltenham against Notts County. Here, look, I'm betting in this game. My bet in this game is under 9.5 corners at plus 108. I'm going to bet this tonight, plus money for under 9.5 corners. I'll get to the reasoning in just a second, but just a shout out to Steve Cottrell, who has come back to manage Cheltenham for the second time in his career. He did brilliantly with them 25 years ago, got him up from the conference. He's had 1 or 2 health issues, some serious health issues. He's come back and he's done brilliantly. He took over again in September. He's had 7 games in charge. They've won 4. They've only lost 1. And although they are in 22nd position out of 24, they are top of the 4 match form tables, along with Bromley and Notts County. And this is the key thing here, because Notts County are not only top of the 4 match form tables, but they're top of the 6 match form tables, the 8 match, 10 and 12 match form tables. They're 8th in the league, but they've been very good this season. They are minus money to win away at Cheltenham. Cheltenham have been good. Underlying metrics suggest they've been a little bit lucky. I'll get to my corners play in a second, but this is the second part of the daily double. Simon.
It is. Now, you're right. This isn't the cakewalk, the procession it might appear, because Cheltenham, obviously, the feel-good factor. We all use these phrases, that we club legend and all this. This guy is an absolute legend at the place. Put a smile on everyone's face, turned it round. Like they often say, a manager never takes over when things are going well. So he took over when things had gone to pot, shall we say politely. But fantastic. However, have they come up against anyone as quality as this side tonight? I would suggest not. I think that this is a level up, and they're going to fall short. Despite all the feel good, they'll have a go for 20 minutes. And like you say, be a lot of corners, there'll be a lot of action in this.
I hope there's not going to be a lot of corners. I hope there's going to be few corners, but continue.
Sorry, a lot of action. I'm getting in on your corners now.
A midfield battle.
Yeah, midfield battle. But it'll be non-corner exciting. But I just think Notts County will have too much firepower for them.
They're a good team.
And it is minus money. There's a smidgen of value. Like I say, it's not the procession looking at the league table would suggest. Cheltenham are on the improve, but they are coming up against a serious outfit tonight. And they are the second leg of the daily double.
Second leg of the daily double. Notts County on the money line at minus 110. Cheltenham did beat Walsall recently and beat Bradford in the FA Cup as well. So some significant form lines here. There's no doubt about that. But Notts County, as we mentioned with those form stats, they are very much a team that you have to respect. So second leg of the daily double, Notts County on the money line at minus 110. I'll recap the double in full in just a second. But the corners play that I like in these are the reasons why. Unders, under 9.5.
Unders, under.
Plus 1 away, not overs, unders. And just some figures to throw at you. Cheltenham at home. In League Two this season, average 3.86 corners. Notts County away 3.43. Cheltenham Walsall, the game that I just referenced before, could be an indicator for this game because Walsall were a similar price to Notts County, and we only had 5 corners in that game. And similarly, Notts County away at Newport, again, very similar money line price. If that's an indicator, there's only 8 corners in that game. Both would have cashed. 14 games, 7 home for Cheltenham, 7 away for Notts County. We've had 8 winners under 9.5. So again, we're getting plus money on something that should be minus money according to those stats. And that's not even considering the averages and those money line indicators as well. So under 9.5 corners, plus 108 is the bet for me. But I would not put anyone off Simon's daily double. Notts County and Burgos on the money line at plus 368. Shout out to the American boys because they've been flying with the daily double, and we've got the American show covering NFL and NBA a little bit later on today. So hopefully they can continue. Likewise, we've got tennis live as well. But Simon, you're 1 from 1 for the daily double.
Well, it's a team game, this, Dan. But if we could just remind everybody that I currently am unbeaten, and I expect, as we say in the American sports game, to go 2 from 2 tonight.
Notts County on the money line, Burgos on the money line. Let us know if you're joining us on the daily double. A reminder that we've got the Betting Weekly Studios newsletter, www.bettingweeklystudios.com. Henry, who's joining us for the first time, I think. If you want the newsletter, Henry, for free, it is yours. You get the Betting Weekly newsletter on Mondays and the Betting Weekly Insider on Fridays. It's as simple as that. All of the handicappers contribute for tips, selections, stats, markets, ratings, an awful lot to digest for free twice a week.
And he'll even put mate as he delivers it in your email box. How about that?
Will he? Well, all right. Yes. Let's hope so.
A bespoke version.
Right, let's talk Argentina, shall we? There are 4 games in the top flight coming our way tonight. Look, this is the penultimate round of matches in the Clausura for the regular season. So there are teams jostling for top 8 positions in Zone A and Zone B before we get to the playoffs, which will decide the title. Some teams can't make the top 8. Some are battling to get in the top 8. Some are looking to stay in the top 8. If you finish in the top 4, you'll get home advantage. If you finish top of the tree, you'll get home advantage all the way through until the latter stages, and then it'll go to neutral venues. So this is the slate coming up tonight. What do we think here? First up, this is a 3 p.m. kickoff. The top one we can see, which is Gimnasia against Velez Sarsfield here. Now then, Velez are the favourites plus 130. They are guaranteed the top 8 finish in Zone B. It's 11th versus 4th here. Gimnasia 3 points off the top 8. They've got a poor goal difference. They are safe from going down on the overall table and also the coefficients as well, because it's both the Apertura and the Clausura that will see one team relegated, and the coefficients, which is 3 years of data to see another relegated as well. Gimnasia won't be going down. They won at River last time out, but they've lost their last 3 at home. And I don't think they're a very good side here, Simon, but winning away in Argentina is tough. Do you like anything Gimnasia against Velez?
Well, they've lost the last 3 in Nazi. I mean, I don't think the players look fit, to be honest, Dan.
I think you.
Number 5. I like Velez, plus 130. You know, we're always looking for road efficiency in the betting game. And this seems sure that I think they will make it another poor performance for the home team. Yeah, I think plus 130. There's a bit of juice in that. Let's get that one in and see if we can get all 4 of these. Yeah,
I don't mind that. At all. One player that I couldn't find on the BetRivers site, hopefully he will be added ahead of kickoff, that you should take a look at is Maha Carrizo. He's a young 19-year-old winger. I've seen on other the bookmakers' websites, he's around about minus 120 to have over 0.5 shots on target. So one or more shot on target. He started 26 games in 2025 in either the Argentine top flight or the Copa Libertadores. He's had a shot on target in 15 of the 26. That's implied probability of 57.7%, which should be minus 136. You can get minus 120. He was a star for the Argentine under 20 team at the World Cup recently. They got through to to the final. They were beaten by Morocco. Shout out to Nathan, incidentally, who a few weeks ago put up Morocco to win that competition. He started every game in the finals tournament, 3 goals, 1 assist, 12 shots, 4 shots on target. He's got 10 goals for Velez this season in all competitions. He's plus 310 anytime goal scorer I've seen. He scored in 10 of 26. All those stats will suggest that he's a play for a shot on target, anytime goal scorer. He's 19 years old. Maha Carrizzo. He's not listed on the Bet River site at the minute. Hopefully a bit
That's
closer
a worry.
to kickoff. He will. Well, look, he was out at the World Cup for a while. He started the last game, and I expect him to start tonight. Brian Romero, I think, is missing through injury. So have a look at Carrizzo. Hopefully he'll be added. You might be able to get him somewhere else. Minus 120 over 0.5 shots on target. The next game we can take a look at here is Deportivo Riestra against Independiente. Independiente are plus 185 to win here. Deportivo Riestra are plus 215. They've been backed a little bit. Now, the key thing here with this one is that Deportivo Riestra are second. Independiente have had a shocking season. They can't make the top 8 in Zone B. And Independiente went 15 games from the start of the Clausura campaign without a win in all competitions. They were knocked out of the Copa Argentina and the Copa Sudamericana in the process, but they have won their last 2, both 3-0. Riestra will finish in the top 4. They will have home advantage for the round of 16 game in the playoffs, but their record is unbelievable at home. They're unbeaten in 18 in all competitions and 30 going back to May of 2024. It puts me off siding with Independiente a little bit. I have got a bet in this one, but Simon, what do you like in the Deportivo Riestra Independiente game?
Well, in Argentinian football, as much as anywhere, you've got to follow the money. Now, when I started looking at this, Dangerous, it looked like Independiente were going to be the pick, but they are drifting like a barge everywhere, and the money is for the other team. So I'm sorry, I'm switching sides in this one. I'm going to follow the money, and I'm playing the not Independiente. I'm playing Riestra.
Deportivo Riestra is the selection. Play him on the Tino bet.
Yes.
Maybe.
I've switched sides. I'm going for them. Follow the money.
The bet I am going to have here is Independiente to have the most corners. Minus 137 at the moment. If you look at the way that Deportivo Riestra play, they play either 5-3-2 or 5-4-1. Even at home, it's a low block. They are ultra defensive. They give up possession. If you look at all of the possession stats, they don't have the ball. They look to try and counter. It means that they back themselves to keep the opposition out. 30 matches in the top flight in Argentina this season that they have played. They have won the corner battle only twice, and they've lost 25 of those 30. So 3 draws, 2 wins, and 25 defeats. Minus 137 for Independiente to have most corners just seems a bit of a steal. Look, Independiente have had a poor season. We know that. In 32 games that they've played this season, they've won 14 of 32 corner battles. They've lost 13. There's been 5 draws. So it's not a gimme, but just the way that Deportivo Riestra play, I would suggest that we'll see Independiente, who've won their last 2 3-0, have more of the ball and hopefully get more of the corners. Minus 137 to have more corners than the opposition. And just
why do you think this late money move has come for the home team?
Well, I would presume it's just because of their fantastic home record. I mean, you could look at their home record and just think, well, why on earth are they outsiders of 2? Independiente can't qualify for the top 8. They can't make the playoffs. They've had a shocking season. Why are they favourites? Because on seasonal form, on Clausura form, they shouldn't be. And the home form of Deportivo Riestra would suggest that, look, they should be the favourites for this game. But I think there's an element of they know they're going to finish in the top 4. There's only 2 games of the season left. This one and then the last round of the regular season coming up at the weekend. They don't necessarily need to win it. So I think there's league.
It's a tricky game to bet on.
As all of them are here. Just one other little bit of team news for you. Pedro Ramirez, who's the left wing back for Deportivo Riestra, limped out the game against San Lorenzo in the first half. He was suspended for the win over Instituto recently. But he seems to be a key player because when he's been missing before this season, Deportivo Riestra have lost both games. So when he's not played at least 45 minutes, they've lost every single game, which is a little bit of an oddity. But Ramirez, he's not in the squad. Checked on their Twitter feed. He's not been listed in the squad. So that's one of the reasons maybe Independiente might be a little bit of a run for those that like the away team. But I'm with Simon. I'd sort of play draw no bet the home team. But the bet I'm having, Independiente, most corners at minus 137. Needleman says, loving Simon's insights. Dan, please didn't try and keep up. Yes, I'm trying.
Needleman, sometimes you fight a losing battle in life.
Yeah, I know. Right, we've got two more games to take a look at here. Next up is Argentinos Juniors against Belgrano. I thought this was the trickiest one of the four matches here, Simon, because Argentinos Juniors are minus 155. They are favourites to win this one. Belgrano plus 460. Now, they met each other on neutral ground in the Copa Argentina semi-final not so long ago, a game which Argentinos Juniors won by 2-1. They absolutely dominated. Nearly 3 expected goals to Belgrano's 0.06 XG, 6-1 on shots on target. They won 2-1. It should have been a lot easier. However, Argentinos Juniors since then have gone on to lose the cup final, and it was their last game just 5 days ago. They were beaten by Independiente Rivadavia. So that was their last fixture, and I just think they already want to back them at minus money off the back of a cup final defeat. They are outside of the top 8 in Zone A. They need a win, and a win would see them jump into the top 8, so they can still finish their season in decent form. But I'm not quite sure I want to bet them at minus 155. Belgrano, incidentally, are 9th in the table. And potentially 2 draws might be enough to see them finish in the top 8. They take on Union in the final game of the season. Any thoughts on this one, Simon?
Got any old Belgrano draw no bet? I think, like you said, they've got a bit more.
I don't mind that. I don't mind it.
Hangover from the cup final defeat. Never a good thing to be around, is it? Everybody coming back into training, everybody down, depressed. A bit like because we win night out. Really. It's very hard to go again. And like you say, I don't know, I just think a little bit of value in the old Belgrano today. Maybe there's not the bigger gap that the odds would suggest. So we'll go Belgrano. Draw no bet.
I like that. They've only lost one of their last 9, and that was in the Copa Argentina. I don't mind that at all. It's a really difficult one to try and predict, as is our final game, which is Independiente Rivadavia against Central Cordoba. Now, Independiente Rivadavia, nothing to do with Independiente. They are a side based in Mendoza, in the west of Argentina. So relatively close to the Chilean border. They're an unfashionable club who won the second tier in 2023. They beat Argentinos Juniors in the final of the Copa Argentina just 5 days ago. I was looking on their Twitter feed, loads of celebrations. It's been wild over the course of the last few days. Are they going to be up for this one? They are 15th and bottom of Zone A. They cannot qualify for the playoffs. That Copa Argentina success, incidentally, means that they will play in the Copa Libertadores group stages next season. So they're done for the year. It's their first piece of major silverware. They're in the Copa Libertadores for the first time next season. They can't qualify for the end of season playoffs in the league. They're plus 145. I'm not quite sure why. Central Cordoba are a better team. They are currently in 3rd. They can slip out of the top 8. I'm going to bet them on the quarter ball handicap around about minus 143 because I think, look, the side that's just won the cup, yes, they'll be motivated. There'll be party atmosphere. But ultimately, their season is done. So I'm going to side with the away side. But I'm gonna keep the draw on side here with that quarter ball handicap in my favourite minus 143. What do you think?
Well, this game came within that. It might even be less than that. Maybe that of being in the daily double. Mental letdown. The cup winners based near the Chilean border, Mendoza wine country. Now, you can't tell me that a lot of that hasn't been necked over the last few days. Now, I'm not a big boozer, but I understand that you can have these hangovers. And you tell me. I just think this, in all seriousness, is a classic mental letdown match. and we've got to get with the away team here. You can just see the interviews after. We felt flat. Oh, maybe we've, it's a classic thing for this. And also, in a straight matchup, you could argue that the other team are overpriced anyway. But when you throw in the fact that it's, how many times have we seen this? Somebody wins a cup, there's a league game, or after a big win, and everybody sort of be a great atmosphere there, everybody happy about the other day, and the performance is flat as a pancake.
Let me tell you something, Simon, because there are parallels between Independiente Rivadavia and Central Cordoba, because last year, Central Cordoba, who were traditionally a second-tier club, lower league club, they won the Copa Argentina for the first time.
What a night that was.
And what happened in their very next game? They got
beat, I believe.
Correct. They did get beat. They did get beat. So we're looking for, history to repeat itself a little bit here. It's an interesting one. Alfredo Berti, who's in charge of Independiente Rivadavia, used to be in charge of Central Cordoba as well. I think the away team on the money line.
So near to being in the double.
Yeah, I'm going to put him off, but that quarter ball handicap gets the draw on side. Half one if it's a draw. I will take that all day long.
Forget all that money line away team. Forget all this no bet or Asian handicap. Let's get the mental letdown. Let's get them beat. Straight money line pick. Cordoba.
Now, one final point to mention before we remind you of the daily double. If you are just joining us, there is
suffering from mental letdown. Dangerous. It's only Monday.
I know exactly. Well, I'm doing 3 of these this week, I think, or at least 2.
Excellent.
Don't forget, we have got our US Sports show a little bit later on today. I say US Sports, NBA and NFL will be covered. The latest prices there for you. The Eagles are -105 on the money line. Packers 115. We've got the spreads there for you, and also the total points, which looks a little low to me. I thought over 45.5 might be the way to play, but we're going to have Doug and Mike on the show a little bit later on to give us their thoughts on that game and to check out what looks a very lively NBA slate as well. Incidentally, big bets from the weekend on the NFL. $40,000 play on the Falcons +6 against the Colts, which was a winner. $20,000 play on the Colts on the money line, which was a winner. $12,000 play plus on the Chargers against the Steelers, which was a winner, -3 on the spread, and the Seahawks -8 +130 against the Cardinals, which was a winner, a 10K play as well. So some heavy hitters are taking plenty of the Bet Rivers coin at the moment. Well done to them. And Doug and Mike are going to be online around about 5 p.m. Eastern to talk their way through that game and indeed focus on some of the NBA action as well. Don't forget we've got tennis live coming up. Mitch and Dustin in the chair. And hopefully on this Monday, we can kick off with some winning bets for you and indeed cash the daily double, which a reminder is, Simon.
Notts County money line and Burgos money line. And it comes to a very, very healthy plus 368 with Bet Rivers. Now, you just said the heavy hitters were out, Dan, taking the money. I very well respected at the very high end of Bet Rivers, as you know. But I know those people at the top are quaking. Could he do it again? Could he wipe us out? Now, why not? Will I go 2 from 2? I think it's a good night, a good slate of bets we've given today. I'm confident of a huge night, Dan.
Yeah, so am I. Notts County money line, Burgos money line, plus 368. If you're joining us on the daily double, hopefully we can cash that a little bit later. Simon, enjoyed your company as per usual. What's your schedule?
You nearly said as always, and then you stopped yourself, didn't you? I caught that thing. I should be watching again.
As always.
As always, yeah. Watching the action, and then I'm away for a couple of days. But
are you really? What are you up to?
I'm going up to Blackpool.
Lovely.
Some family business. Yeah, it's a resort, the last one. So I'll be up there, but I will be in my hotel room tuning in to this show.
Wonderful stuff. Don't forget, we have got tennis live coming up a little bit later. And we've also got NBA, NFL coverage for you from 5 p.m. Eastern as well. But that is your lot from myself and Simon. Hopefully we can cash some tickets. Good luck if you're following us with the Daily Double and all the plays that we put up. We are back tomorrow when once again we'll be taking a look at some of the leagues that we don't always cover on Betting Weekly Live. But trust us over the course of the week, World Cup qualifiers. qualifiers. Lots coming up over the course of the back end of the
Keep
week.
it here.
The weekend and
Keep
so
it here.
Many thanks to everyone who's tuned in. We will speak again tomorrow. Good luck.